Hey BroMob, time is running out. For the month of May, you can enter for a chance to win a free signed James Conner jersey. Here's how you can enter. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a written review. This is going to get you one entry into the drawing on our May 27th episode. You can also get an entry to win at thefantasyfootballbros.com. Just click on the BroMob free giveaway image and fill out the entry form. So, drop us that review on Apple Podcasts and thefantasyfootballbros.com to enter for your chance to win. Now, sit back and enjoy the show. Yo! Welcome into the show, BroMob. We're your hosts, Chad and Brian. Today is Monday, April 29th. And we have got a great one lined up for you today. As always, we're going to be reviewing some news and notes. Wield that precious little Infinity Gauntlet for a moment like Thanos. Have the power.
The power.
And then going over the always crazy NFL draft. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Excited to be here, man. So it was a great weekend. A lot of craziness in the draft. I know you and I we're very active on Twitter, watching
busy,
enjoying every little bit of it. It was crazy. We'll have a lot to talk about there. And it was my anniversary weekend. So 6-year anniversary with my wife Jenna. And
nice. How'd that go?
It was great, man. Friday night we went to the Cubs Diamondbacks game, and that was a blast. Had box seats. It was really, really cool. It was a great day. Saw, a good game. Cubs didn't win, unfortunately, but that's all right.
It's normal.
No. Well, I mean, they're ahead of the Brewers right now. I know you're a big Brewers fan. So
still early.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It was great. Had some food and a couple adult beverages, and it was a good night. Some sarsaparilla.
Barkeep, slide me a sass.
Give me a sass down here. So yeah, we had a good weekend. It was so busy, we didn't get a chance to go see the Avengers. I couldn't fit it in. Now we gotta try to do that in the next day or two. So don't spoil it for us if you're listening.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it either. I also had a pretty busy weekend. Today, Michaela and I were taking some engagement photos. A lot of uncomfortable staring, a lot of laughter. It was a really good time.
Is the uncomfortable staring?
Ate some ice cream.
It's her staring at you that's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I'm not the best looking, but I am the greatest. I had some ice cream. Sense. Got all over my beard.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Made for some interesting photos. So I'm excited to see them.
You should shape your beard like this guy I saw on the internet. This guy has his beard shaped like a bowl, and he's able to put. Swear.
Come on.
He's able to put. Yeah, he puts food in it, and literally eats the food out of this beard. Yeah.
It's that dense.
So, yeah, like noodles.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
chicken.
cereal because naturally, my mind just wants breakfast foods.
Yeah, you put a bowl in it. You put some breakfast food in it.
There's no way.
I swear, dude. Look it up. Just
I need to look this guy up.
Google. I don't know. Guy with beard shaped
genius
bowl.
Man.
Genius
beard
man.
Bowl.
Yeah. The manliest man.
I'm gonna find a way to befriend him. It's gonna be him and I are gonna be really good.
If he's listening, have your people call our people,
and then they'll be friends.
Powwow, and we'll be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's Monday, April 29th, which I don't know if you know this, but the next time we record an episode, it's gonna be May.
Thank you, Justin. He recorded that just for us. It was very nice of him.
He has taken that well. If you haven't noticed, like he's kind of embraced it's gonna be May.
Yeah, it's because he has a sense of humor. He's a pretty funny dude. So,
I need to know him in real life. It's like a life goal of mine.
Him and the Beard Man. Beard
no
Bowl Man.
Justin Timberlake. Could you imagine the four of us, like you and I, JT, and Beard Bowl?
Beard Bowl doesn't talk much. Talking makes the chin move, which makes the bowl move too much. He's just gonna eat.
I feel like we're talking about him too much, but he's just so fascinating. Like, does he have
no such thing.
I have to figure it out. Like, It's not like a bento box where he has it segmented. It's just like a bowl. Can you imagine it's a bento box beard?
I can't even imagine his beard right now. I have to look it up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you need to. Absolutely.
Wisconsin was once again crazy for weather. So last weekend, it was up in the 80s. It snowed again. This is ridiculous. We're at the end of April. Every other weekend, 80s, snow. 80s, snow.
Man.
I don't get it.
This is the Midwest. This is why I don't live there anymore.
It's Wisconsin. It's terrible. I don't get it.
Stop living there.
It all melted within a
Come
day.
to Arizona.
Luckily, it didn't ruin our engagement photos.
That's good.
So it was good. It was actually a really nice day today. It's just for whatever reason, Winter Storm 12,000 comes yesterday.
Winter Storm 12,000.
Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it does.
Winter Storm 12,000.
Love it. Well, we got a lot to talk about. So be sure to follow along after the show by following us on Twitter at FF Bros Podcast. You can also search hashtag BroMob to follow along.
Thank you, Brian. Let's get into some news.
Here's some news.
Stop it. No more.
Every week.
Every week, huh? Jeez.
Every week. Never stopping.
Well, starting off the news segment, we're reluctant to say that 6th-round pick Corey Ballantyne was involved in a shooting with a close friend of his, 23-year-old Dwayne Simmons, who was actually killed. Our wishes go out to Ballantyne for a speedy recovery, and our condolences go out to the family and loved ones of Dwayne Simmons. It's not what you want to hear.
No, it's very sad.
Also very sad, Tyreek Hill, the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, who had his charges dropped for criminal case for child abuse, has now had them reopened. From the recent release of a audio tape that is very concerning, the Kansas City Chiefs have also suspended him from team activities as they continue to do their internal investigation. Just so everybody knows, us as the Fantasy Football Bros, we hate to talk about this. We don't in any way condone it. It's a disgusting act. Brian, what's likely to happen here?
So if you've read the NFL's rules on domestic abuse and stuff like this, it's pretty clear. So because he has a prior domestic abuse incident and they have heightened awareness around penalties regarding like children and children related incidents, minimally likely is that he's going to have a suspension from the league. He's probably going to be released by Kansas City. I'd be shocked if they don't release him. And then, this could be the end of his career in the NFL. We very well may have seen his last days. What does that mean? Like, if he is suspended, even if it's a suspension where he's indefinitely suspended until they feel like he has kind of bettered himself and they see enough to let him back into the league, which is, I really feel like is unlikely. Then, okay, what does that do for like the likes of Sammy Watkins and his stock and Demarcus Robinson, the other wide receiver there? And then they just drafted a wide receiver in this year's draft. And so what are your thoughts, Chad, just on Sammy Watkins?
It's interesting for him. This is a receiver that's consistently posted stats of over the teens for yards per reception. Actually, last year was the second highest in his career for yards per target at 9.4. He can put up some touchdowns. We've seen it with the Rams. We've seen it with the Bills. He's a talented guy, and he's had a year in this system. I could see him stepping up. But one thing is, he's an injury concern always. He only played 10 games last season. He's a talented player that I think a lot of people should be looking at. However, the one I'm more intrigued at is Demarcus Robinson. When Sammy Watkins went down, we saw Demarcus Robinson's usage rate go way up. And actually, at the end of the season, the last 3 weeks, he had touchdowns every single week. He was used in the red zone. He's a 6'1" receiver. He fits that offense very well. He's somebody that I'm really keeping an eye on. Sammy Watkins' stock is going to skyrocket, whereas Demarcus Robinson is going to be a lesser-known commodity that you can get in the later rounds that I think will be very serviceable.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I think Sammy's stock kind of is the big one here. And, if you look at what Tyreek Hill would leave behind, he leaves behind a 24% target share from last year, which is huge. And so, those are a lot of targets, especially from Mahomes. And I think Demarcus Robinson will benefit a little bit, but I know that it's not usual for a rookie wide receiver to break out in a first year. It's actually less likely for that to happen. But look, they draft Mecole Hardman in the second round, and he has a 4.33 speed. The guy was returning 25-yard kick returns on average in college. He's 5'10", 187 pounds, and I think he's a prototypical slot guy. He looks and sounds on paper like Tyreek Hill. He's actually a hair faster than Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill ran a 4.34, and Mecole is running a 4.33. So I think they're going to use him. Look, there's a reason they drafted him. I think they're going to use him like Tyreek Hill. They're going to use him on some of these motion routes. That he'll come out of the backfield a little bit. I think he'll be in the slot, heavily used. So I wouldn't be shocked if he can emerge. It might not happen right away as the season starts, but later in the season, as he gets more familiar with the offense and the team, and they start integrating him on more plays, I think he really could come around.
Yeah, former 5-star recruit with Georgia, very similar to Tyreek Hill, where he doesn't really project out well, is breaking tackles, but somebody this fast, getting used all over the field, could become something big. After drafting Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals were saying to former top QB Josh Rosen, who they traded to the Miami Dolphins. Brian, what do you think about this?
Yeah, obviously Arizona saw enough, and they were done with the Josh Rosen experiment. I think he's going to be a good fit for Miami. I think he's not playing this year. He's going to sit behind Fitzmagic, and so
they're saying that he's going to compete.
Yeah,
they're for the position.
Of course, they're saying that. But look, follow the money. They're paying Fitzmagic $7 million this year. He's throwing the rock. So no doubt about it. I understand they traded some stuff for Josh Rosen, basically a second round pick. But look, they're you follow the money. Like I said, they're going to play Fitzmagic this year, and I think he sits behind him and just learns, unless something just really turns out bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they realize, wow, we made a really big mistake. Then they'll pull the plug and go ahead and insert Rosen. But I think Rosen sits this year and plays next year.
Contrary to my wish last week, it appears that wide receiver Doug Baldwin is possibly planning a retirement party due to his counting injuries that he continues to have every year. I'm sad, and it's kind of a shame to see him go out this way. It hasn't happened yet, but it's very likely. The team has went ahead and drafted 2 receivers, possibly for replacements.
Do you think they bring a guy in like I don't know, that
out of free agency?
That one guy throws the X up when he scores? What's that guy's name?
Oh, that Dez.
Dez. I think that would be a great fit. Like bring Dez in. He's a big body. DK Metcalf can learn a lot from him.
Who's a bigger body, though?
Oh, that's a good question.
Dez or DK? The answer is DK.
Yeah, DK might make everybody on the team look small.
Yeah, he makes most of the world look small. That guy's a monster.
Yeah, here's the deal. I know he's not a crisp route runner, but he's got that breakaway speed, and that size is just. I think he landed in a perfect place in Seattle.
Yes.
I think his lack of strong route running is a little bit less of an issue with Russell Wilson's scrambling ability and the way he plays quarterback. And look, Wilson he can throw it deep, but just as good as anybody in the league, and drop him on a dime. And when you have a big body to throw at like that, it makes it a little easier. So, Doug Baldwin's going to vacate 73 targets, 600 yards, and 5 touchdowns if he does retire. But, look, I think Lockett's the same. I don't see anything changing for Tyler Lockett. I think he kind of does what he did last year, maybe a slight uptick. But, Seattle's going to run the ball. I think DK will get some of those targets. I don't see him being a breakout star this year. That's a team that's going to run the ball a lot.
Moving on to Tyler Lockett. The guy had his best season last year, considering that Doug Baldwin didn't play much. He was number 6 in the league for yards per reception, number 6 in touchdowns. He had his career best in yards per target, in catch percentage. He had an 81% catch percentage. The thing is, his target rate didn't change much. He was just catching more. And the biggest thing is he jumped up 6 yards more per target from last year to this year. He went from 7 yards per target all the way up to 13. Russell Wilson has one of the nicest deep balls I've ever seen, or deep throws I've ever seen. And so Tyler Lockett is intriguing to me. I didn't like him because Doug Baldwin coming back was going to eat up those catches. But without Doug Baldwin there, I could see Tyler Lockett being something much better than what people think.
Look, he was basically a 1,000-yard receiver last year, like 900 yards receiving. I think he maybe breaks over the 1,000-yard number, and that's about it. I think
the best stat here is that he stays healthy. He's played every game, every year of his career.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, knock on wood. But they, like I said, I think I don't like. There's not going to be 2 elite wide receivers on this team. They run the ball too much. So, nonetheless, I think DK has a good rookie season and everything, but Tyler Lockett's the guy to own in Seattle, in my opinion.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about that crazy draft.
That's a great idea. You're a real asset to the team.
Thanks, Coach. Does that mean I can play in the second half?
No, absolutely not.
Man, this year's NFL draft just looks so fun. I wish I could have been there. Nashville looked awesome. Brian, I've never been. Have you ever been?
Nope. Never been. And but that's going to change next year because it's on our agenda already to go to the NFL draft in Vegas. So looking forward to that. But Nashville looked awesome. I love the way they had the draft set up kind of at the end of a street. And so like
one big party.
Yeah, the whole stage just faced downtown Nashville, and it just looked like a blast. So I loved it.
It even rained on the first day, and they were still partying.
I saw that, yeah.
They had concerts. People could just walk out from the... they're not bars down there. What do they call them?
Taverns. I don't know.
No.
Adult beverage store?
Adult places.
Yes. Those are different.
But no, it looks super fun.
Different. Nope, different. Adult places are different than adult beverage places.
You're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
To clarify.
I shouldn't say that.
Wind it back.
Bring it on back.
No, it was a blast, though. It looked really fun. It was fun covering it, to be quite honest.
It
so we were
was.
on Twitter pretty heavily and covered every pick in the first round pretty much. And so it was a blast. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday covering it, and can't wait till next year. Now, honestly.
So Brian, you and I are going to cover the 2 winners and then also the 2 losers in our eyes. So I'll go ahead and start it off.
Because they're winners. Winners get to do what they want.
My first winning team is the Philadelphia Eagles. They added firepower to that offense. I'm going to start it off with the least sexy of the picks, Andre Dillard. One of the best tackles. They still have Jason Peters. This is clearly going to be his replacement. They continue to add solid people to an already solid, I think it's top 5 in the last 3 years, rated offensive line. So they continue to just add studs to it. Hats off to them. That should help out with their next pick that I'm going to cover, Miles Sanders. This guy is an electric being. I look at him like the Flash. As a matter of fact, whenever he's running around the field, all I can think of is this sound. He is
screaming.
He's just screaming like an eagle because he fits the team perfectly. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He's incredibly fast. He can make you miss, run you over. He's perfect. And I actually see a lot of comparisons and similarities to his situation, much like Alvin Kamara did in New Orleans. Mark Ingram was clearly the guy. They brought in Adrian Peterson that same season, but Kamara just had something special to him. Miles Sanders is a special talent, and I see him somewhere down the end of the season producing very similar, I'm calling it now, to Alvin Kamara. I'm drafting him. Are you drafting him?
Ooh, no, not at all. You and I are on different planets here. I think you're crazy. Look, I like Miles Sanders.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think you are. Miles Sanders in the long run will be, I'm sure, I think he'll be good. It's not his talent that I don't trust. It's the team he's on. That place has been a revolving door for running backs over the last few years since under the new regime. And sure, you had LeGarrette Blount who did well, and I get that. But you have Jordan Howard there, Wendell Smallwood's still there. I just don't see Miles Sanders contributing in that level unless there's injuries, which is completely possible. Could happen. But look, I don't think this is the year for Dynasty. Absolutely, I think you take a look at him. But for redraft purposes, which is what our podcast is about, I definitely don't see any immediate value for him. Maybe you take him late in a draft. Right before the draft ends, you take your sleeper, and if you want to snag him, kind of put him on your bench for a little bit. I think what I would do is I'd probably let him hit waivers, watch him a little bit, see how he's involved, and then maybe put some fab on him and see how he does. But yeah, no, you and I are on different planets here. No way I'm putting any stock in the draft for Miles Sanders this year.
Well, Brian, I'm going to put some stock on him now. I think Miles Sanders, and I'm going to put on the board, I think he ends as a top 25 running back this coming season.
Top 25 running back?
Top 25. I'm willing to put it all on the line.
You're talking about half point PPR. You're saying top 25. He's a RB. That makes him a high end RB3, low end RB2.
Yes.
No way.
You want to put a little skin on it?
I'll put skin in it. Yeah. Hit it on the board.
Where's the 5 fingers? Say to the face. What? Slap.
We're going to slap bet this. So, folks, a slap bet at the end of the season, whatever it may be, Brian and I aren't betting money on this one. We're betting the 5 fingers to the face. So we're going to keep track of this one and let you guys know. But this is easy for me. Miles Sanders is a special talent. He's going to find the field, just like Kamara. He might win some people some championships.
He might get your beard slapped right off your face. That's what he might do.
My beard is powerful, just like he is.
I'm going to slap it across the United States of America.
The last pick that I want to highlight from the Eagles, JJ Arcega-Whiteside. This guy reminds me of a young Jordy Nelson. He's fast, he's physical at the red zone area, and he just goes up and gets the ball. He's super talented. You fit him in there with Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. Man, they've built themselves one hell of a team in this draft. It was already good. Put on the board, it's better now.
When I hear his name, I'm sorry, I apologize in advance for this. Actually, no, I don't apologize for anything. When I hear his name, I think of taco sauce, Ortega. You know what I'm talking about? You put on your tacos, make them a little better.
It took me a second.
Ortega on it.
But yes, now I put some Ortega on there.
The Eagles took their team, and they put some Ortega on it. They taste a little bit better.
Some Ortega. Got it. Who do you got, Brian?
My number one winner is right here in my home state, Arizona Cardinals. Got to put it to them, man. I think they had probably the best draft of any team this year.
They're up there.
If not, they're at least, they're up there. So, look, you land an amazing talent in Kyler Murray. So you got your quarterback. I think he's the guy, and I think everybody here feels that way.
Quarterback.
That's
my quarterback.
It's my teammate.
Teammate.
Kyler Murray, you lock it in, right? Then you come around and you just proceed to draft Riggs at the wide receiver position, and you stack weapons around him. Andy Isabella, slot receiver, going to be a rig on the opposite side of Larry Fitzgerald, and he'll learn from Larry. And so hopefully he gets a season or two with Larry to learn how to run the slot, and who better to learn from than him. Then you draft Hakeem Butler, who is an absolute end zone beast, and can get up there and win those contested catches, those 50-50 catches. And then you put those guys alongside of Fitz and Kirk and David Johnson, and all of a sudden you've got an offensive team that's ripe with talent. The only question I have is, how's that offensive line going to look?
Yep.
In Arizona. It's the only thing you worry about, and that could be something they can address still here in free agency a little bit. So, I think Arizona did a great job in the draft.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. My number 2 pick, the Chicago Bears.
You hear that, Ed? Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Bears.
The Bears, they, didn't have many picks. And I'm going to stop talking like this.
The Dicka.
Because
Bears.
I can't do it. The Ditka.
Look, if you had to choose between Khalil Mack and the mac and cheese, do you take 12 Macs or 1 mac and cheese?
Think you go with the mac and cheese.
You take
and
the
then
cheese.
swallow that up with a Big Mac.
With the oh, this is gone way too long. All right.
Well, going into the
on.
actual picks, the Bears.
Just do Bears impressions the entire time. It's not even about the Bears draft.
It's not even about their pick. We just like them.
Just doing Bears impressions.
I'm going to start it off with David Montgomery, who in my eyes is a true 3-down back. They won't use him as such, but this guy's had back-to-back seasons of over 1,000 yards rushing. He's been used in the passing game. He's got soft hands, unlike Jordan Howard. He's a complete back. The only thing he lacks, he doesn't have the top-end speed that some of these other running backs do, but David Montgomery is a solid running back. Pair him with Tariq Cohen, and you've got a very unpredictable backfield that, honestly, it hurts Tariq Cohen some, but I think Tariq Cohen will live because he's so good in the passing game that he can get used pretty much in any play. So he might get taken out some, but I could see him get used in the slot some, but not as much as you're probably thinking because they've went out and they've also drafted Riley Ridley, who's related to Calvin Ridley, and is actually very similar to him. Crisp route running, great hands, quick feet. He's a really good pick for this team. So David Montgomery, Riley Ridley adds to an already very impressive offense. So kudos to you, Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I agree. I think the addition of Ridley is a really good one. That's going to help continue to stretch the field. He's quick. So what a great weapon to add there for that Chicago offense and for Trubisky to continue to throw to. And the David Montgomery pick, I'm excited for them, but it really was a deflator for me because I really hoped the team was super invested in Cohen's. I had a feeling that's what they were going to do, and then when they drafted David Montgomery, it kind of solidified for me that he's not going to be the bell cow or even close to it. I think it's going to be a running back by committee there. And so that's going to be tough. You'll have to play matchups.
Who's your last team that you think's a winner?
So my last team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They needed a lot on the defensive side, and I think they realized that. And I've been saying this for a while. Like, the Steelers haven't been the same this last year or the year before. The defense has not been the same, and the offense has had to pick it up, on their side to kind of account for it, especially last year. And that's why you saw Ben Roethlisberger, number 3 overall quarterback in the league, 5,000 yards passing, 30 plus touchdowns, is because they had to. They were playing catch up or from behind for most of the season. The defense has not been elite, and it's really not been elite since they lost Ryan Shazier. And so I applaud them. They moved up and
Hey, Brian, I got to cut you off. We got some breaking news. Sebastian Janikowski, a longtime kicker for the Seahawks and then also for the Raiders, has decided to retire.
Really?
Hats off to you, Seabass. Get yourself a big old leg on you. Why don't you go sit yourself on a big old couch and enjoy retirement?
Yeah, sit your butt on the couch, Seabass. No, good for. I mean, that sucks. I loved the guy. He wasn't he. He was in the same draft class as Tom Brady, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's the last. So Tom Brady is the last player from his draft class,
okay.
2000.
Wow, no kidding. That's crazy. Yes. Him and Seabass.
They were holding it out.
So,
I'll have the chicken and the
now it's just
Seabass.
Brady, so he'll be having
the Brady and the Seabass.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Seabass, on a great career, and enjoy the next chapter of your life, man. So to jump back into what I was saying, again, the Steelers traded up to the number 10 pick to grab a beast of a linebacker to fill that Ryan Shazier hole that was left when he went out, and that's Devin Bush. And I watched the tape on this guy. This kid. He's a beast, and so
he's a dog.
He really is. He is tough as nails, and he is. When you think of like a Steeler linebacker or a Steeler defensive player, he's the kind of guy you think of, like the way he plays. My favorite, I saw this video when I was looking at his tape of him in the center of the Trojan Stadium before the game, and he went out and was literally digging up with his cleats the Trojans logo in the center of the field, and the team had to come out and remove him, and he literally almost fought the whole team, and they had to come out and repaint the logo because of him. I mean, this guy bleeds his team. I think he's going to be a great Steeler. He'll probably be. I'm gonna call right now. I think he's a future Pro Bowler probably. I mean, it's just. I think he's going to be an absolute rig. And so that was their first round pick. Then, they had to trade up, so they lost their second. Then in the third, they draft Deontay Johnson, wide receiver, and that's really their replacement for Antonio Brown. And before everybody gets real, hot to trot on Antonio Brown and you got this guy in the third, you can't replace Antonio Brown with a third round pick. Look, Antonio Brown was a 6th round pick. He was not drafted as a 1st round talent. And so, they see something in this kid. I think he can contribute right away. They're going to need him to contribute. They're going to need him to contribute right away. And you know what's nice about Deontay Johnson also, by the way, he's not a locker room distraction. He doesn't come with the diva.
You can see that's what they're doing.
100%. You've got a young Juju and this Deontay Johnson kid, and they can grow together. And so, hey, great draft, Steelers. I was impressed. They did a great job.
All right, let's move on to the losers.
Le who? The her.
Anytime
so the Seahawks,
Ace Ventura is involved, it's perfect.
Yeah. So the Seahawks, in my eyes, had one of the worst drafts. Yeah, they got DK Metcalf, but he's a raw talent, but very raw. He needs to work on his route running, his breaks, his separation. What he can do is run in a straight line. Luckily, Russell can find that person deep. As I mentioned before, Tyler Lockett was happy last year. DK is going to be pretty happy catching balls from Russell too. However, one of their biggest issues that they've had for the past 3 years is that they've had one of the worst offensive lines in the league. So how do they repay Russell after paying him? By giving him one guard in the 4th round in Phil Haynes. And yeah, you helped him out with one guard. He needs a full offensive line, guys. Instead, what they do is go out and draft 3 wide receivers because Doug Baldwin might retire. So Gary Jennings, they drafted him, prototypical slot receiver. It's a need, but it's not as important as that offensive line. They should have just loaded up 3 to 4 offensive linemen. Instead, they brought in DBs, linebackers, wide receivers, 1 O-lineman with 11 picks. I just think that's a loss.
Well, they need a lot. That's the problem. The Seahawks are completely rebuilding right now. They were a playoff team last year, but they limped in. And so, they're not close. I think they got lucky and limped in. I think they're further away than they realize. And so the offensive line's a problem. They need to address it. And now they're starting to address the defense. Drafting defense, they're trying to get back to having that young defense that they had several years ago that clearly they don't have anymore. But the problem is Russell Wilson's going to be running for his life all year again. So they better run the ball, and they better run it a lot, which they're going to. So my loser is I'm going to go with the Giants. And it's pretty obvious. I don't even really need to spell it, although I will. First name spells out to be Dave, and last name is Gettleman. And as long as that guy is there, man, this team is having a hard time. So, look, we've made it no secret, Chad and I are Cowboys fans. Keep this, please, Giants. Listen, if you're listening, Dave Gettleman's doing a great job. Just keep him there. He's doing a wonderful job.
He's really good.
And he's really good.
We like him.
Dave Gettleman is to football what Harry Carey is to baseball. Just crazy.
Just a crazy guy.
Dave Gettleman here. All right. Yeah, let's draft a guy. It makes no sense. Let's do it. Okay.
Would you trade OBJ if you can get nothing back?
Yeah, the guy, Dave Gettleman. Look, not hot on the quarterback pick, Daniel Jones. I'm not hot. I don't understand, I should say, the Dexter Lawrence defensive tackle pick also in the 1st round.
Yeah.
So you waste 2 first-round picks when you could have started rebuilding the team in ways that would have actually benefited long-term. So you draft another defensive tackle. You didn't need it. I just don't understand the draft. And so it seemed like to me they weren't prepared. And and that's just a sign of a bad GM. And so the Giants are not going to be good anytime soon, guys. I'm sorry to say that, Giants fans, but I'm also happy to say it. So I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah, unhappy to say myself as a Cowboys fan. My second team is the Cowboys. Look, we didn't have many picks, so we couldn't do much with it to begin with, but really all we did was add Zeke's backup. Really nothing else. We had an offensive lineman for some odd reason. We already have depth there in the interior line. I like Tristan Hill. It's a need, but then everything else after that, I don't see panning out. Some of the players might not even make the team. So Cowboys, Jerry, you could have done better.
Yeah, I mean, I think they needed to draft a running back to back up Zeke. So Tony Pollard was not a bad pick. They got him in the 4th.
Yep.
And their first round pick, really, they didn't have a first round pick, but they really did. It was Amari Cooper. So if you factor Amari Cooper in, it's really not that bad, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, they just, it felt like they didn't really know what the team's pressing need was. And so it felt a little scrambled. Mm-hmm. My next loser is the Miami Dolphins. So
why the
God,
why the elongated ending? We don't need that.
Yes, we do.
We absolutely do.
You didn't know that was a dolphin sound. It's natural. That was a real dolphin sound. It was not Ace Ventura doing it. I promise you, it was a real dolphin.
99% sure.
99% scientifically not proven. So the Dolphins stole Christian Wilkins, and they added Rosen in a trade, basically for their second round pick. And then that was about it. It was pretty bland after that. I mean, they addressed some spots here and there, but man, I tell you, I really don't. I felt like they had a chance to really improve that team. They have a lot of needs. And so the Rosen trade makes sense to me. Okay, you're getting a former first round pick for a second round pick. That makes sense. The Christian Wilkins pick was a great pick. But then everything after that felt like it was like just
unprepared.
Just really unprepared. Yeah, so Dolphins are my last loser.
Well, that's some of our views on the draft. If you guys want to see a little bit more, go to our website, thefantasyfootballbros.com. We wrote an article about the first round and what we think about some of the offensive players that came out of it. So without further ado, let's play a game. This week, we're going to be playing 2 games and starting it off by walking into the situation room. Oh.
Ooh.
I want to get out of the situation room. It's scary.
I pooed myself.
I'm a little frightened.
Just poo all over the place right now. I'll be right back. Can we pause this?
I can't. It's completely live. Brian.
Smells terrible in here.
While we're in the situation room, what do you think happens?
Clean up on aisle 7.
Other than your pants.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Let me tell you, we give each other situations that might be a little scary in fantasy, and we say what we're gonna do.
Can I give you a situation?
It's just a nice little situation.
Let me give you a situation. All right, so you have 2 really good trade offers sitting in your inbox for the same guy on your team. Okay, and this is what you get in the morning. One of the trades is to your arch nemesis in the league. Okay, the guy you can't stand. So, i.e., in our league, Joe Dirt for me. Okay, and the other trade is to a division rival who's really fighting you for the division title, and you have to accept one. Like you're looking at it, you're like, these are both I have to accept one of these. They're amazing. But I don't want to give this player to the wrong guy. What are you doing?
This is tough. This is a hard situation.
It's a situation. That's why.
It's this situation I don't like.
You just found yourself in a situation.
Reluctantly, I'm going to trade to my arch nemesis.
Oh, I could
because
not
in the back
do
of my
it.
mind, I need to win.
Yeah.
And I can't let that division guy squeak me out at all.
And if you think about it, your winning is a dagger in the heart to your arch nemesis.
Exactly. And so your
and
hope is
if that trade to your arch nemesis is the reason why you win, you could just lay it on them for the rest
Perfect.
of fantasy existence.
Yeah. It's a
So
double-edged sword.
I like your style.
Because if you start losing because of that, he makes fun of you.
Oh my god,
He or
so
she
true.
makes fun of you.
It's such a tight line.
But I'm doing it.
Okay.
All right, Brian. I got a situation for you.
Ooh. Oh my
Get
god.
ready.
Grab my pants again. Oh.
Mine also
Clean up.
deals with trades. So let me paint the setting. You're out at the bars.
I just painted my pants.
Please change them. You're having a couple cocktails with your friends,
Oh, I love cocktails. You know that.
having a good time. You're maybe playing some basketball. You're at a sports bar, had some basketball hoops, having fun.
This doesn't sound like me at all.
Have a couple too many cocktails, and
Now
one
you're
of your
talking
friends
my
that
linguity.
one of your friends that you're out with offers you your trade. You don't remember it. You wake up in the morning, you check your phone, and oh my God, I just traded away Saquon Barkley for Tyler Lockett. What do you do?
All right. So did it actually execute on the league site?
So-
or was it just via text?
Let me paint it even worse.
Oh my god.
This league pushes trades through automatically.
Okay. So it's already done. So you're looking
It's
at
done.
your team. You're like, Tyler Lockett. Why do I have Tyler Lockett? Where's my Saquon Barkley? My
You
question
go through
is,
the history.
do they remember? Did they remember the trade?
Yes,
They remember it. You don't.
they're your arch nemesis.
Oh my god. That's
No, I don't want to go that deep.
okay.
What do you do?
All right. I don't know that there's anything you can do. So I believe, how are you going to ever convince anybody you were so drunk that you don't remember the trade? If you execute, this is why you don't. I think
You
if
don't
you know
drink
you're
and
gonna
trade, folks.
don't drink and trade. Maybe you delete your app if you know you're going out for a really good night and your arch nemesis is coming with you. That's a tough one.
That's really-
yeah. I think it sucks, but I think you have to stick it. There's no way you're gonna ever. Just think about our league of record. No one's reversing it.
No,
No, you're just getting made fun of
Yes.
forever.
Forever
It's
and
it's
ever.
not getting reversed. So you could try all day long. It's not getting reversed because no one's gonna believe you. So
yeah, you're
I
now
think
the
you gotta
proud
roll with it.
owner of Tyler Lockett.
You got Lockett.
Congratulations.
Hot Lockett.
Hot Lockett.
Hot Lockett. All right. So
We need to stop singing.
I know we were only gonna do one each. I've got a bonus one. So hit that beautiful music. I think I pooped.
Stop
All right.
pooping.
All right. This is my last one. You're given 1 hour to have any X-Man power that you want.
Oh.
What are you taking? What are you taking and why? You get
Okay.
you get the power for 1 hour.
I want the power. What is the? It's actually hard. I'm going between two. One is obviously Professor Xavier because I want to be able to read everybody's mind.
Yeah, but you're paralyzed.
Oh, I thought I was only getting the power.
Well, I mean,
With the power comes paralysis.
no, but
What's going on?
I kind of feel like you have to be paralyzed. I don't know why. It's too powerful, so it
Nope.
has to be.
Final loophole. Professor X is me.
Well played. Damn it. All right. So you're going Professor X. Dude, I'm going Wolverine. I don't even care.
For an hour? What are you gonna do?
An hour.
Just
I want them claws. I'm
push the
slicing
claws out,
stuff.
pull them back in for an hour.
I would be on CNN at night. People are gonna go, look what we just saw. I'm running all over the place. I want those claws.
Terrible.
It's either
pick.
that.
You're-
It's either that or I want to be Quicksilver. So I run so fast.
See, Quicksilver was a good pick. Wolverine was bad.
Yeah, I just went for it.
That desert
All
heat's
right.
killing you.
Trade backs. I want Quicksilver.
No trade backs. We just talked about this. There's no trade
Trade
backs.
Nope. I just put a.
You have Tyler
you said
Lockett
so-
and
put a
Wolverine for an
loophole.
hour.
You can't. You're not paralyzed. I can do trade backs. So I'm going with Quicksilver.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. So
We
that's
got one more game.
Yeah. So that's the scenario game, huh?
Yep. We got one more.
Ooh.
So I'm going to put on my Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm Thanos, and I'm smug. I got my shoulders out, my elbows out. I'm like, And I'm going to go ahead. I got a butt chin. So I'm going to go ahead and snap out of existence. One, well,
Is that your snap?
something out of the draft. And I'm going to snap out of existence Devin Singletary going to the Bills. Because why is he there? There's too many running backs. And he's so talented. He could be running elsewhere. He could go to Atlanta. Devonta Freeman ain't going nowhere. But Ito Smith? You don't think that they would have been like, yeah, Devin Singletary is way better than this guy. He would have been solid for that team. So I'm snapping out of existence Devin Singletary to the Bills.
Is that snap? Are you doing the snap? Or is that a drop?
Yeah, I'm snapping.
That's your snap.
That's me.
It's a powerful snap. I can't snap that way. Can you snap like that for me? If I just say,
so I'm gonna have the gauntlet.
I'll say,
so Thanos is lazy in your scenario. He hands
you
the
hear my
gauntlet to someone else. I'd like to do this. Can you snap it?
Yeah. He's like, do me a favor. I'm not a good snapper. Can you snap
I'm not
for
really
me?
good at this.
Why does he sound like that?
I don't know.
Hey, guys.
Hey guys.
Guys, I don't know how to snap. Or whistle. Do you guys know how to whistle?
Can you whistle for me?
You guys whistle.
I've lost my dog.
What if that was the power of the gauntlet? Is you had to whistle?
Why?
Well,
What does the
what was that
hand
sound?
have to do for whistle?
What does that? I don't know. It just does.
So what are
All
you
right,
snapping?
So my snap is going to be. I don't know if you saw this or not, but my snap is going to be Pete Carroll's decision to take his shirt off in front of DK Metcalf. Yep.
Yeah.
So look, I give Pete. Thank you. I give Pete Carroll a lot of credit for having the brass to take his shirt off when you've got a Roman god standing in front of you. But dude looked like SpongeBob SquarePants when he took his shirt off. So Pete Carroll, you just got snapped, dude. Put that shirt back on.
So you didn't snap his shirt out of existence.
Nope.
You're snapping him completely, or that's decision?
Yeah. He's getting snapped. Pete Carroll, you're out of here, dude. You make
Bye,
decisions
Pete.
like that. Thanos says, "Get out." So
No more bubble gum for you.
yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Well, everybody, that's going to do it for today's show. Be sure to tune in every Monday and stay up to date on the fantasy football world and to gather any insights on how to dominate your fantasy football league.
Yeah, and if you didn't last week, don't forget to subscribe and give us a review on Apple Podcast for your chance to win a signed James Conner jersey. You still have a chance, so listen in, and we'll announce the winner on our show on May 27th. And if you aren't listening to us on iTunes, go to our website and find out other ways to enter by visiting thefantasyfootballbros.com.
As Brian mentioned, if you aren't listening on Apple Podcasts, we're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever it is that you listen. We're literally everywhere. Follow us on Twitter at FFBrosPodcast. And as he's also mentioned, you can check out our website, thefantasyfootballbros.com. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.